Up next is one of our grad students. This is his first growing season here. He's one of Dr. Krishna Kadawal's grad students, Sudha Chetri. He's going to be talking about soil amendments for corn production. Like I said, this is an acidic area, so that's where kind of the amendments are working towards.
Thank you, Dr. Chris. So, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Sudha Chetri. I'm a master's student here. Thank you, Bobin, for just giving the handouts, everyone. So, as we all know, this is a place where acidic conditions are arising or are increasing a lot. So, what happens is this is a no-till environment where we can't till the soil. And when growing corn, a lot of ammonium-based nitrogen fertilizers are needed. So when we do apply that, that causes a situation that's called as surface acidity, and that's been increasing a lot in this area particularly. So regarding this problem, to identify this problem, we came up with this research which is titled Improving Dryland Corn Production on Acidic Soils. So is this field the research that we're doing on, is it on this problem specifically? Yes, because we tested this soil using we tested this field the soil for this field using various soil pH, where we mapped the different parts of this field, and we found that the pH was ranging from 4.2 to 5.2, 5.3, around that. That means it's acidic. And we also did collect the soil sample and checked it and found that the average pH of this field was around 5.3. That's just acidic enough that will harm the corn production in this area. And to deal with that conditions, we came up with an idea of using 3 different soil amendments. But the problem is not only acidity, because acidity hampers corn. It mainly hampers root area. The roots, they don't get to elongate and they don't get to reach the deeper layers. That just means that they can go to the deeper layers of soil just for water and nutrients and those kinds of things. It's and dryland growing area as well. That just means that there's not much water that's being stored in the soil. So acidity that hampers the roots of these corns. Then there's dryland, there's compounded stress, and to deal with this situation, we came up with 3 amendments. I came ready for this field day, so I'm just going to show you the amendments that I've kept in these bottles as well. Bobin, can you help me? This is a beet lime. This is a biochar. You can pass it on. And that's an AMF. So what lime does, it just helps with the acidity. Biochar, it's an physical and soil chemical improving conditioner, as we call it. It helps in improving the water holding capacity of the soil. And then there's AMF, or arbuscular mycorrhizal fungi, which is an fungi. I think that will be a unique thing to see. So that forms or colonizes the roots of these corns and helps corn go to the deeper parts of the soil and extract more nutrients and water. So what we did is we didn't only use these amendments to check, or we just didn't use these amendments alone. We used these amendments in this field along with combinations of these amendments. So this here is a lime plot. This is a lime plus AMF, lime plus biochar. That's AMF, biochar, triple combination, and then there's control. So we used mixes of these 3 amendments and created about 8 treatments. So this is a 2-year experiment. Last year my advisor handled this research. This year I am handling it. But last year's results show that the soil pH of the different treatments were, as compared to the control, which had an pH of 5.3, the lime raised soil pH by 1.4 units, the biggest change of all, and lime had a biggest pH change, increasing pH to about 6.7. Mind you, corn produces in good amount if the soil pH is from 6 to 7, so this is a great increase. And the top yield that was shown was about 142.6 bushels per acre. and this was shown by our triple combination, which is lime, AMF, and biochar combined. This was about 8 bushels per acre above control. But I gotta be frank with you all, this wasn't statistically significant, so I can't say that it will be 8 bushels per acre above the control or normal conditions every year for now. But this is a promising trend, and hopefully we'll be able to identify if the trend is consistent or not by examining the field this year as well. But the bottom line is mixes do win, and there's this no single amendment that just performs better in every condition, but there's one amendment that works best on one thing, and there's another amendment that works on best on other things, and that could have been the reason why the triple combination did the best. If you want to know more about the results from 2025, it's just in the back page. And also, as I mentioned, AMF colonizes the roots of this corn, and then it forms filaments like a structure, or just increases the root area so that more nutrients and water are available. Well, the AMF can't be seen by naked eyes, but what we can see is from the picture behind. That's a root washings from 6 to 24 inches under the soil under AMF, and we can compare it to the root washings from 6 to 24 inches under control. We can see that the root architecture and the root mass is a bit more on the AMF side. I'm not claiming that this is the AMF because, like I said, it cannot be seen with our naked eyes, but this just goes along with our mechanism that AMF does help in getting deeper to the soils and extracting more nutrients and more water. So that's it for the previous. That's it for the previous results. Among many, there are a lot of results, so I couldn't cover all of them. But for this year, I calculated soil pH before planting this year as well. As seen in these tables, like the lime and lime combinations still perform the best when it comes to soil pH. When it comes to plant population, it is seen that the triple combination is still performing the best. I think this is a good, this doesn't mean that the triple combination will yield the highest again, but it does mean that we are heading in a positive direction, and it does so a lot of difference when it gets compared to the control, which has 22,400 plant population per acre, compared to lime, AMF, and biochar, where it has 35,000 plant population per acre. And when we compare the growth stages as well, like the growth stage for control, it's at V6 stage. So I use leaf color methods to identify the corn growth stage. So when I compared this among all of these replications, it was found that control was the only one which was behind by almost one growth stage. That just means that maybe other treatments are performing well since the soil is kind of improving now. So, and also I like to tell that it takes a lot of time to build the soil. It's just not that we apply amendments in a year and it will get better in 1 year. I don't think that's the case. It's a building of soil, and where what we'll find out by the year end of this experiment is that if the trends are consistent like the previous year, we'll find that the amendments do work, and if there's increase in yield, we can say that these amendments work, but it'll take some time, and everyone will have to apply these amendments with patience rather than just believing that the yield will be really good in 1 year only. And I think that's it for this year's measurements. I'll take more measurements as we go on. I'll take other crop physiological measurements, yield measurements, soil health too. But I think this year, one thing that we are going to add is cost effectiveness as well, because it's not about finding the amendment that fixes the soil or gets good corn production, but it's about finding that amendment that's cost effective for every one of the farmers that is growing corn in this area. So that's what my advisor and me, we are planning to do this year, to find the best cost effective treatment that will help in building soil, just helping the corn grow better, and also be a good choice financially. I think that's it. Thank you.
With that, if you have any questions, Sudeep will be very happy to answer.
I'll try to.
Were the products broadcast not in furrow?
No, they were furrowed. The biochar, for instance, were biochar or the line. They were furrowed. So, thank you. So there were furrows that were created and then they were broadcasted, because without it the wind would take just everything away. So yeah, the furrows were made before they were broadcasted.
What was
So
your
what we did is we used first year we used this we create furrows. So how we created is we use the no-till planter and then create small furrows while planting, and we apply those biochars and limes all together. This year what we did is we actually first broadcasted and then shallow disking, because when you broadcast these amendments over soil, our environment is very windy. So what happens is wind would just gonna blow away and you don't see the actual effect. So you want to incorporate somehow. I know it's a no-till management, but still we need to find a better way to incorporate these amendments into our soil. With the equipments we have, what we did is we first broadcasted and we shallow those amendments into our soil to just better incorporate, and that's how we applied our amendments. And for arbuscular mycorrhizal fungi, it came as a granular form, so we just had to mix it together with the seeds, and then when we no-till plant, we again planted the seeds and it into the furrows, and that's how we applied our amendments.
what was your seeding rate or target population for corn?
It was 40,000 seeds per acre. I think that was our planting population at that start.
What did the lime cost per acre?
Per acre, I think it's
So the lime, it was pelletized lime for this particular project, right? $50 a ton, $100 a ton delivered, or plus $100 a ton delivered to Dickinson.
What's the availability of it, or how far did you have to go?
It came out of Nebraska, Calcium Products. Apparently, the old Sydney Sugars, somebody bought that, and that line is now available for a cost. Haven't met with them yet. I don't know too much about that at the moment, but I have heard through the grapevine that that is available again, but with a cost. When it was free, we had some field scale stuff shipped down to Mont, $150 a ton delivered to Mont. Didn't have to pay for the product. Then the mineral haul on top of it. With the incorporation they were talking about with the tandem disc, we did adjust the angle of the gang so it was about as parallel as you could get to minimize that disturbance.